Payday comes, the money hits your account and you think to yourself, this month is going to be different. The plan is to save some this month, but you get to the 28th and what do you know? You've got £12 left in your account, but you've got no idea where it's gone. Sound familiar? Well, that's because it is the cycle you are living in. It's not an accident, it's a system that has been normalized. Today, I'm going to show you the single biggest reason to why you've got no money left at the end of each month. And it's got absolutely nothing to do with how much you earn. It's about the order. You see, most people spend first and invest or save whatever they've got left. However, the people who actually build wealth do this the other way around. And by the end of this video, you will understand why this one small change could be worth over £1 million to you. And no, I'm not exaggerating. I ran the numbers, so let's get into it. So here's how most people handle their money. Payday comes, let's say you earn £2,000 per month. And what do you do when it hits the account? Well, nothing. You just leave it there. And then your rent comes out, your bills come out, your groceries throughout the month, and that's absolutely fine because that's essential spending. Let's just say that tallies up to around £1,200 and you've got £800 remaining. And the mindset here is that's absolutely fine. I'll save some or invest some at the end of the month. But then what happens? First, you grab a coffee because it's only £4, and then you get yourself the takeaway at the weekend because you deserve it. You see something on Vinted that you like and you get it because it's a bargain, and then you go out with your mates for a few pints because you're allowed to go out, why wouldn't you? And before you know it, over the course of the last few weeks, that £800 has suddenly turned into £200. It then mysteriously shrinks to £50, and then the day before you get paid again, you're checking your balance to make sure you can get the bus into work. Now, here's the thing, you didn't blow your money on anything crazy, you didn't go and buy a Rolex, you didn't book a trip to Vegas, you just spent it because it was there. And this is the trap that keeps almost everybody broke. If your money's sat in that current account, it will get spent. And it's not because you're irresponsible, it's just because it's there. And when you think about it, when you've got that £800 left, that £4 coffee isn't really going to make a dent. That £25 takeaway doesn't really matter, it's a weekend treat. And it sounds obvious, but all of these little spends start to add up without us even realising. Now here's the alternative, and it kind of sounds silly saying it out loud because it is so simple. Let's run the same numbers. Payday comes along, £2,000 into the account, but before we pay a single bill or buy a single coffee, we are going to transfer £200 into our investment account. Not at the end of the month, not when you feel like it, on payday. And this is going to be set up automatically because we don't want any human intervention. Just set and forget. But now you've got £1,800 to live with rather than the original £2,000. But I absolutely promise you, you're not going to miss it. You're not going to even notice the difference because that £200 was going to disappear on stuff you didn't even realise anyway. Ask yourself what you spent your money on 6 months ago, 3 months ago, even a month ago. You probably won't be able to recall every single transaction. But now, instead of this money disappearing into thin air, it is going into a stocks and shares ISA. And simply put, it's going to grow your net worth rather than shrink it. When I share the bank statement breakdown videos, we see examples of this all of the time. People living paycheck to paycheck and just spending everything that they've got in their account. And it really doesn't matter if you're earning £2,000 a month or £5,000 a month, you will find a way to spend it if you allow yourself. If you want to check out any of these bank statement breakdown videos, they are on my channel and they are from real people with real bank statements where we run the numbers to see what's really going on. However, this whole concept is called paying yourself first. Because when you invest first and spend after, you are guaranteeing that your future self is being paid. Now you might be wondering how much your future self is being paid, and now it's time to run the numbers. This is where the video gets really interesting because we're going to see what this one small change after payday is really going to come to. Let's say you're 25 and you're putting this £200 a month into your ISA. You invest into a low risk S&P 500 fund where the average return is historically 10% per year. You do this for 35 years, taking you to the age of 60, which is still younger than the average retirement age in the UK. How much do you really think you're going to have? Well, based on that 10% per year, you are looking at around £685,000 just from £200 per month. Now, what would that be if the person continued with that spend first mindset? Well, to be honest, it would probably be zero still. But if we're being generous, it might be £100 in one month, £35 in the next, and so on. There would be absolutely no consistency. And even if you're consistent for a few months, them old bad habits will slip back in. Now granted, not everybody watching is going to have 35 years available to invest. But the purpose here is really just to paint the picture. And ultimately, there are 3 key factors to making this work. Consistency, because we have to be putting the same amount in every month. Patience, because it isn't going to make you a millionaire overnight. And balance, because we can't expect to live absolutely no life and invest every penny that we earn. Okay, so if you like what you hear and you want to get started, it's a very simple 3-step process to get going. Step 1 is to pick your number. Now, if you watch someone like Dave Ramsey, they will suggest putting 15% of your take home away into investments every month. However, I do feel like 10% is a more achievable target these days. So if you do make £2 grand a month, aim for that £200. If you make £3 grand a month, aim for 300, and so on. And of course, if you can do more, then that's great, but 10% is where we want to start. Step number 2 is to set up a standing order. It's all about automating the process. Every payday, that amount goes into your investment account without you even seeing it, touching it, or anything. You don't even need to think about it, it just happens. And then finally, step number 3 follows on nicely because it is to just completely forget about it. The worst thing you can do is check every single day what it's worth. If the market dips, you might panic, and you can't because the S&P 500's average return is an average and it does balance out in the long term. Yes, there has been crashes, there's been recessions, there's been pandemics, you name it, it will happen again. The market does go up over time, but it isn't up only. But at the end of the day, it still averages 10%, which is the important thing. So pick your fund, set up the direct debit, and just go about your life. And if you do want to learn more about setting up a stocks and shares ISA, I will put a link down below in the description, and it may also appear on the screen somewhere up there. And that's it. That's the secret. Pay yourself first. Make sure you're investing every single payday. Be consistent, be patient, and make sure you're living a good, balanced life. People seem to think that financial gurus on YouTube are telling people to not drink coffees and to stare at paint for the next 40 years, but that's really not the case. But do let me know down below in the comments if you are already paying yourself first. And if you do want to check out one of our bank statement breakdown videos, there will be one on the screen right now. You can see exactly how a single mum on a low income working part-time could still build up a 500k plus retirement portfolio. It is possible, it's just a question of how much you want it. So check it out, click it right now, and I'll catch you in the next one.